Hello friends. Today my topic is that services, right? Services in Angular. It's a really important topic in Angular. Also, in point of view of interview, also important. Whenever you face any interview, that times interviewer asks simply question and tell me about the Angular services. Why it's important and why it's necessary in Angular. Correct. That times you have to explain like Angular services just perform tasks that are used by multiple component. So after seeing this diagram you can identify all these things like what's ongoing there. So service just like a, and we can say that sharing the data one component to another component as well as, and we can say that also like the service just like a perform tasks that are used by multiple component, right? So in this diagram showing here multiple component 1, component 2, component 3, dot n, like that. So all component can be access common service like service 1, service A. This is service A only, correct? So this is service, and service we called like service A, name of the service like A. So have multiple component 1 to 3. So multiple component can access a single service, right? And syncing data, correct? I hope you understand what's the Angular service like definition, and multiple component can be accessed a single service. And practical point of view, just go to the code side. I have running project, and in my current project I am using here services, and so I will try to explain and what's ongoing there, right? For that in my project have so before to move to the ng service side, so I will explain the command, which command help of this command we can access we can generate ng as service name. Using this command, we can generate new service in Angular project. Ng as service name. G stand for generate, S stand for service. Correct. Using this command in command promote, and we can generate new service in Angular project. Right. So this is my live project. So I am not generating here new service. So I explain here only services, how to use in Angular project. Right. So I have already told you right how to generate, and I have already explained you generating command nggs service name, correct? And I hope you understand 2 points. One is a what is a service in Angular, and the main purpose of using the Angular service in Angular. The third one is that how to generate new service in Angular, correct? And command, right? So fourth one step is that real-time practically example where we can see that in the services, correct? So services main thing, you remember one point more like login service. I have created one login service. So here in export class login service, I create one export class and put here name the login service, right? So before creating any component service, we have to add injectable keyword at the rate injectable. After adding at the rate injectable, this class make a service. That's the difference between login component. It's similar export class login component, but we are not using here at the rate injectable keyword. But here in service class we are using at the rate injectable. At the rate injectable make this class as a service. Correct. So second thing, create a class. Inside the class you have add at the rate injectable, and this service has been created successfully. Most of the time services in Angular we are using call the third party like call API like that. So it's a constructor of this service, correct? And service we can add like that. So this service login service, and before use the login service we have to add login service in the module inside the provider app.module.ts, correct? Inside the app.module.ts have providers. I add here login service. Without adding here inside the provider, we cannot access login service, showing error otherwise, right? So whenever you create any service in Angular, like login service, whatever service, you have to add into the providers. Correct. Once add into the providers, we can access. Otherwise, it's showing the error. Correct. I hope you understand. First, you have to create the one class and make at the rate injectable. You have to use this decorator, and this decorator helps to the create this service. This class is a service. Second thing is that we have to add into the login service inside the provider. Correct. Third one is that this login service like we can login service I am using here at that injectable login service like that in this login component. So similar service we can use in another component as well as not an issue. Suppose that we have one component .html and for example detail component, right? Inside the detail component already we are using a login service like that, correct? So one service we can access by multiple component, right? So it's the concept of the service like dependency injection, correct? In Angular you have listened to the dependency injection. Dependency injection means we are creating any service and just add into the component, and multiple component can access in a single service. Yeah, we can say in another word like one service can be accessible by multiple component. These things also called like a dependency injection. You have to learn into the ASP.NET Core MVC website, MVC side these things. But in a dependency injection also inbuilt into the also available into the Angular side as well as we can create a constructor and pass the services and we can access, right? I hope you understand what I am trying to explain this video. I explained what is Angular service, second thing how to create Angular service and the command of the Angular service to generate the new service, right? Fourth one is practically how to create the service and how to use in Angular project. I hope you understand all these things. Thank you so much watching this video. If you think it's a video is useful for you, please comment in comment box and suggest me if you have any suggestion, so I will try to improve myself all these things. Thank you so much.